Good morning, everyone. My name is Noel Zant, and I am the program director at the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center in Pueblo. And today I prepared a PowerPoint presentation to show you how I got where I am today. So I will go ahead and pull that up. Is that good? Ashley, can you guys see it? All right. Okay. So like I said, my name is Noel Zant, the program director at the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center. That picture in the background was taken out at our mountain campus in Beulah from the top of one of our trailheads. So to get started, I would just like you guys to spend a couple of minutes just looking at this picture and think about how it makes you feel. If someone is with you, you can tell your buddy, or you can write it in the chat if you'd like. Just one word of how this picture makes you feel. And here's another picture. I'd like to do the same exercise. One word of how this picture makes you feel. So these two pictures that I just showed you are pictures of the areas where I work. A lot of my job is outside. I do spend some time in the office working on emails and that kind of thing, and planning field trips. But these are my offices I get to view every day. The first picture was a picture of our mountain park in Beulah. And then this picture that you're viewing right now is a picture of our river campus in Pueblo. So the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center, our mission is to promote environmental stewardship, community health through nature education, wildlife rehabilitation, and outdoor recreation. So we do a variety of different things. We work a lot with children and young adults doing programs that have to do with outdoors, nature. And then we also have our Raptor Center where we rehabilitate birds of prey. So what I do is I'm responsible for developing and implementing all of our youth programming. So I host a variety of field trips that come out, anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to 10th grade. Sometimes we even get like youth groups or businesses that come out and want to do a program with us to do some team building, that kind of thing. It really just depends on what people are interested in, but mainly our focus is outdoor education, earth studies. Some examples like this picture here, I'm teaching about fish that live along the Arkansas River. So how to get where I am today? This is a really long list. But I started with high school. So I grew up in Pueblo, Colorado, and I went to Central High School. I also attended the early college program through Pueblo Community College while I was in high school. So you can do that, and I know they still offer it, but you can do that as early as the end of your sophomore year. You take a test, and if you score high enough, you can be enrolled in the early college program and knock out a lot of the college classes, and that would also save you money because it's all funded, and so I didn't have to pay anything to get basically my associate's degree. From there, I went to Colorado State University in Fort Collins. I did some volunteering along the way, as well as took on some seasonal jobs. Seasonal jobs sometimes don't even offer any money. It's kind of like a volunteering seasonal job, depending on what it is. From there, I decided to go to the police academy. So I went to Arapahoe Community College Law Enforcement Academy. From there, I got a job with Colorado Parks and Wildlife as a parks officer. There was some life changes. I became a mom and decided that I did not want to be a law enforcement officer anymore. So from there, I went to the Pueblo Zoo. And from the Pueblo Zoo, I made my way here to the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center. So I'm just going to go through and talk to you about each step as I took and show you some cool pictures. So I think the big thing to think about when you're in school is, what are you passionate about? What do you love to do? I think it's really important to get involved with the community and volunteer and begin building your resume. I also did a lot of volunteer and clubs and things like that while I was in high school. I got involved with like the student government. I was vice president of my class, that kind of thing, and it was really fun. I also played soccer and I was a cheerleader. So I think getting involved and just really finding what you love is important, especially as you're going through school. So my passion, if you haven't already guessed, is being outside and being in nature, being around animals and that kind of thing. So when I went to college, there's like this big list and it says, you know, what is your degree in? What do you want to go to school for? Originally, like when I was in high school, I was really undecided. But when I got to college, so I actually went to college undecided, and then realized that I wanted to work in the outdoors. So CSU Fort Collins and now CSU Pueblo has this opportunity. It's newer, but for a degree in fish, wildlife, and conservation biology. So my focus was wildlife biology specifically. So it was more of the science side of things. So while I was in college, again, I did some seasonal jobs, and I didn't always get money for doing the seasonal jobs. Sometimes it was volunteer work, and also some of my college coursework involved like studying animals and that kind of thing. So there's some cool pictures here. While in college, because my focus was wildlife biology, I was kind of leaning more towards maybe I'd become a wildlife biologist. So I did some studying on squirrels and squirrels around the campus. So that's that picture here. I trapped squirrels and radio collared them. Radio collars help us identify where they're going. So we're able to see it on the computer and see kind of what their home range is and where they live. So I studied the squirrels on campus. I also did some more radio telemetry work with bighorn sheep. So this next picture here next to the waterfall, this giant frozen waterfall, we were out looking for bighorn sheep that day, tracking their radio collars, just to kind of see their home range. This helps us study a bunch of different things that could be going on in the area with those specific animals. And then over here, we have a picture of me in college with a moose and then a wolf. So I also did some seasonal jobs and some volunteer work, being with different types of animals, helping feed, take care, and study these animals. So after college, I decided that I wanted to work for Colorado Parks and Wildlife, and not necessarily being a biologist, but more of the park ranger law enforcement side. So in order to do that, you have to go through the police academy. So that's me in the front there. I went through the police academy and it was about 6 months long. Just the same thing that a regular cop would do. I went through the same process, except I was going towards a parks officer. So someone who works at a state park. Through my time at doing all of these different things, I really love being a part of my community and volunteering. And so I also, during this time, am doing the Miss Colorado or Miss Pueblo County pageant. And I won Miss Colorado that year. I've been involved with that pageant since 2009. I started really young when I started volunteering and being involved in this. And it's helped me along the way. It's really helped me become who I am today, help me with public speaking, help me with my job and that kind of thing. So I made my way through the police academy, and then I got accepted into Colorado Parks and Wildlife Park Ranger Academy. Again, it's similar to the law enforcement academy. It's just more park specific. So I went through things like snowmobile training, rock climbing training, all things that you would do outdoors. So this was my graduating class. As a Colorado Parks and Wildlife officer, it's a big umbrella of things. So basically, we're in charge of making sure everybody's following the laws at a state park. I was stationed at Lake Pueblo State Park. I grew up there. So it was really cool to be back in my hometown. Through the process, you really don't get a choice of where you get to go. You get a dream list. So I didn't really know where I was going when I first applied and got hired and that kind of thing. But I knew I was passionate about being outside and of course their mission statement and what they believed in, getting kids outside and protecting our natural resources. And so as a park ranger, I was a park ranger there for about 4.5 years. Some of the things I did there is, of course, law enforcement. So I did deal with not only people who were driving under the influence, but also people who were boating under the influence. So drinking and boating, or people who weren't wearing their life jackets, those kind of things. So I did do some boat patrol. In this picture, I'm actually doing some community outreach. So I am preparing for the State Fair Parade here in Pueblo. And basically what we do is just tell people, wear your life jacket. If you're going outside, wear your life jacket, educating the public, that kind of thing. So I left parks and wildlife because I became a mom and I did not want to be a police officer anymore. And so I got a job at the Pueblo Zoo. And my job there was special events. So if anyone's ever been to Electric Critters or Zoo Boo, I did concerts at the zoo while I was there. So I did all of the big events that happened at the zoo. And I loved it there. I still got to be around animals. But one thing I was missing was the educational piece. So I was more of behind the desk and working in an office. And I really missed being outside and being up, around wildlife and teaching kids. So from the Pueblo Zoo, I got where I am today. So I got a job here at the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center. And I started as an environmental educator, which is a ranger. So someone who teaches the curriculum. Of course, now I do both. But I actually got the opportunity to apply for the program director position, who oversees all of the programs that happen at the Nature Center. So I got that job. I've been in this position for about a little over a year now, and I really love it. It's really fun. I get to be around kids. I get to be around our birds of prey, and I get to be outside. So these are just some fun pictures to kind of show you a little bit of the different programs that we run. This is a picture up at Greenhorn Mountain. We run a summer camp there. These are really cool. So sometimes when we lead our guided hikes, I like to point out fun insects. I'm a big insect lover. I love bugs. So these are beetle larvae underneath a tree. We have a cactus here that was eaten probably by a small rodent. We have a scorpion, one of our evening programs or evening guided hikes. Scorpions do glow under fluorescent light. So this is really fun to hunt for scorpions, and of course leave them as they are. We don't kill animals or step on bugs or anything like that. We love all animals and wildlife. This is a picture of Jasper, one of our resident great horned owls. This is a fun picture. You'll start seeing these in the springtime of silkworms. They make little nests like this. This is a really fun picture of one of our environmental educators releasing a bird back into its habitat. So we were able to rehabilitate this bird and help it get back on its feet and release it back into the wild. This is a picture of a bunch of students on one of our field trips comparing different types of pine cones from different trees. And this is just a fun picture of the trailhead to our Devil's Canyon Trail. So the next step, if you guys are interested in pursuing a degree or a career in natural resources, like doing what I do, or maybe you're passionate about outdoors in a different way, I encourage you to think about what your skills are, what your experience is, and what your passions are. Like, what do you love? Like, I love to be outside. I love to be in nature, and that's why I've kind of focused on these type of jobs that I've done in my life. And so you can kind of see here, I made a fun little chart showing you what is your passion. So my passion was animal in the outdoors. So I went to college and I got my degree, a bachelor's of science in wildlife biology. And this is kind of like the umbrella of careers I've had so far. I think it's really important to point out, like, you don't necessarily have to pick one job and be like, yep, that's my job the rest of my life, which is what I kind of thought when I first got the job with Colorado Parks and Wildlife. I thought, oh, this is the job the rest of my life. I love it, but sometimes life changes, and there are different career paths you can take. And it doesn't matter how old you are or where you are in life. Sometimes you just make different jumps and have fun along the way. There's a bunch of different adventures to take. So this is just, again, another little chart here showing that you don't necessarily have to get a science degree if you wanted to work for the outdoors. You don't necessarily have to have a bachelor's or an associate's. College isn't for everyone, and sometimes you can take like a trade school, like say you're interested in construction and you want to go to get a certificate for construction, or maybe you're fresh out of high school and you're looking for a job so you can have a job while you're in college. There's many different jobs in the natural resource field that you can have. So like right now, we actually do have CSU Pueblo college student interns that work for us. So we have a great partnership with CSU Pueblo, and those interns come and they love it here. They have a blast being outside, working out here. Say you're interested in computers and you also are interested in the outdoors. Well, there's computer scientists that the outdoors need, like agencies like CPW or the Nature Center. We need marketing people and those kind of things. So there's a big umbrella of jobs out there, and you don't have to necessarily focus on one specific one. And also understand that you can go through different paths in life, and that'll take you where you need to go. So my advice to you is, find your passion, stay positive. One thing that's always helped me in life is always have a positive mental attitude, PMA. You can do anything you put your mind to, and as long as you work hard for it, and you have that positive attitude. So some of the things that we offer at the Nature and Wildlife Discovery Center, if you guys really liked my pictures and maybe you want to come visit and come on a field trip, that kind of thing, we do offer community programs. And we also offer summer camps, ages 1st grade through 10th grade for our summer camps. But we also offer weekend raptor tours if you and your family want to come check out our birds of prey up at the Raptor Center, that kind of thing. So it's important to get your education and stay in school. It's important to volunteer in your community and get involved to get those life experiences to help you with your steps along the way, and always follow your passion. Does anyone have any questions? Let's see. So I just opened up the chat. What is the annual or hourly salary for a career in natural resource? So that's really going to depend. So some of the entry level salary rates or hourly rates, they're pretty low. Like I said, when I first started, I had to do a lot of volunteer work. You don't get a ton of money until you actually get going. So I would say on average for a seasonal job is probably going to be just above minimum wage. So any seasonal technician position, that kind of thing. But I feel like with volunteer experience, it really helps you helps your resume to get those positions. Any other questions? What essential or soft skills do students need to succeed in this career field? So to specifically succeed in like an outdoor field, I think it's really important to do those seasonal jobs or volunteer at a place that maybe you're thinking about working. So when I started with Colorado Parks and Wildlife, I was a volunteer. So while in college, I did volunteer just answering phones and selling fishing licenses. So that was all volunteer work. And then from there, was able to get a seasonal position. I think networking is really important, like introducing yourself, talking to people, putting yourself out there, making friends in the community, and kind of working your way up.
Do we have any more questions from anyone on the live? If not, thank you, Noel, for taking the time to visit with us and teaching us all about the careers in natural resources. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.